My old boss used to come in every morning and he would say, the most important thing is to keep the most important thing the most important thing. And I think we humans have lost track of the most important thing.
When you're willing to understand and design for human contexts, really the mess of them. That's how we can create things that last. That's how we can enable trust and connect with a human on the other side of the interface.
I think we have created for ourselves a crisis of meaning, and I think that crisis of meaning is in some way tied to a crisis of value.
So SARS happened in 2003, and 44 deaths, Hong Kong, Toronto, and it pretty much shut down the city of Toronto for quite a period. Nothing was really going in or out, a lot of quarantine happening. And the real tragedy here is really the failure of our institutions to do something about this.
It started with people calling in one of the design leads and saying, we have a problem. We have a lot of errors in blood and tissue sampling happening within the hospital. And everybody was pointing to everyone else saying, oh, the lab was saying it's the frontline staff's fault, they're not doing it right. The frontline staff then said, oh, we just get these memos back from the lab saying we're not doing it right. And everybody was kind of pointing to someone else.
Within that context, I think it helps us understand why the crisis is happening. And it's a pretty complex milieu of all kinds of things happening all at once.
Service design is actually this ongoing process of shaping social structures. We need to kind of wake up to this idea that we as people are fundamentally entangled and part of the systems that we are designing.
No one NGO or person can take credit for a society's behavioral change, but together, over time, they can each make a small influence that can lead to a larger change, making a difference for many.
It's a Trojan horse for a set of dreams and ideas about how we might live together better as humans. And the hero of this story is a little thing called community.
So how do we design within the constructs of power dynamics and the institutions? How do we design in a way that's responsible, that reflects this community-based approach? And that requires a lot of trust building with the community. That's not inviting them to come to your boardroom and throw up a bunch of sticky notes. So much of this work is actually us going out to the community. Them coming to you means they're coming into a place of power.
They started to realize, the patients' homes were much like their homes and the homes of their friends. And they started to relate in a different way, seeing patients as partners and think differently about how they were practicing. And these roles and norms, those are the very social structures that are being reshaped. So actually, I would argue that social structures are the materials of design.
We believe that service design can be used to help people and create change, that it can change lives. We believe that impactful services can be created that can change attitudes, point of views, and even behaviors.
We, all, as service designers, should not think ourselves as limited by culture, language, or geography to create the positive change that we want to see in the world.